I recently read on vidIQ that only 1 in a million YouTube channels reach 1,000 subscribers. So as Crew and I have hit 1,500, we are overjoyed and proud of the community we've built, the content we create, and the friends we have made along the way. So to celebrate all 1,500 of you amazing people who watch and support our content, we decided to do a big Q&A with no holds barred. Any question goes, and some of the questions I've been asked are a little weird, but I think we'll have a lot of fun. Here's our 1,500 Q&A subscriber special. So let's go. So naturally, we're going to start with YouTube, as YouTube is the platform that we both prefer. It is certainly where we've built our community and is the centerpiece of everything we do. So let's have a look at your questions. First up is Score. Now, if you don't know Score, Score is a really good friend of ours and a really good friend of the channel, and he runs his own channel called Platinum Vault, which is a fantastic channel. I find Score to be a very unique YouTuber in the trophy community because he takes on very serious topics in a sincere, mature, and intelligent way. However, his content is very enjoyable as well. It's not too heavy, but he does make some serious points. I think he's a very important YouTuber to follow. I think he's someone that is speaking a lot on the important topics that need to be discussed within our community. If you haven't already, check him out. I think he's wonderful. Maybe I'm a little biased, but he is. So go give him a good subscribe. Thank you. And Score would like to know what my favourite video game genre is. Now, this is a really good question because when I was a casual gamer, I would stick to the same games. So it was Football Manager and FIFA, or Pro Evo for me because, you know, I'm a snob. Or it was FPSs like COD or Wolfenstein. That was about it. I mean, I'd mix in the occasional hack and slash if I could get a good one, but that was about it. When I became a trophy hunter, I broadened my horizons and I started playing different genres more regularly and found that I'm really quite attached to platformers. I was never good at them as a kid, but now I'm not good, but less shit. I still do love a football game. However, I am a big sucker now for big RPGs. I find RPGs to be incredibly enjoyable unless it's made by Ubisoft, and that's where I like to focus my big time. If I'm going to do a big game, that's what I'd like to do, an RPG, an immersive RPG with a lot of narratives, a lot of choices, side quests, million collectibles, the whole shebang. And thank you, Score, further congratulations, it means a lot, and I'm hoping to see you hit 1,500 as well very soon. How do you say that? Balls? Mahals? That's a good name, I like it, but I don't know how to say it, so well done. Do you think you will ever take a crack at doing all the lists in a series again? If yes, what series? Great question, and yes, I do. There's a few games I want to do. I want to go back to Assassin's Creed apart from 3. Never 3. Never ever going back to Connor's Story. I'd like to do all the Resident Evil games. I'm very curious about the Resident Evil games. There's a few franchises that I would like to start. I would like to finish Wolfenstein, and I think I'm going to make Wolf 2 my 200th platinum. I think that's where I'm going, and then I'll have all the Wolf plats. CJ Joker, hey bro, if you haven't checked out CJ Joker's assassination review of my trophy list, check out CJ Joker's channel. And he's quite funny. I like him quite a lot. There's a great member of our Discord server, a huge part of our community. Got a lot of love for CJ, so thank you, bro, for everything you do. If you could pick one game to get a remake or a remaster, it could be from any other platform, not just PlayStation, what would it be and why? And would you platinum it? Well, I had that dream come true today because it's not a remake or a remaster, but it is a re-release of the Time Splitters trilogy, which is my most beloved FPS of all time. There is nothing that comes close to Time Splitters 2. It's just the best game ever made. While all these fucking idiots were playing Unreal Tournament, which was dog shite, by the way, I was playing Time Splitters 2 with my friends who had brains and good taste. So yeah, the trophy lists went up today. I can platinum them today, and instead of doing that, I am making a video. But yeah, and I can stack them, so I'll be doing all those. And if there is a remake or a remaster that wasn't on PlayStation, it would be the very original Buffy the Vampire Slayer game that was released as a launch game for the original Xbox. And it was a brilliant game. It was really, really good. It captured the essence and the style of Buffy. It captured the dialogue perfectly. The story was fantastic. It added to the show as well because it's an in-canon story. The only actor to not reprise their role for the game was Sarah Michelle Gellar, who played Buffy. She was the only one. That Anthony Stewart Head played Giles, and We had Alison Hannigan return as Willow. We had Xander Harris played by Nicholas Brennan. So everyone else came back, which was it was a really well made game. The combat was fun. The levels were interesting. It was a really good story. Everything about it was fantastic. Would I platinum that as well? Yes, I'm going to platinum all the Time Splitters games twice because they're stacks, you know, PS4 and PS5. I'm not going to get bored of those games. I've been playing them for over 20 years and I'm still loving them. And of course, yeah, Buffy. They're the two. They're the big two. I would love a remaster of Buffy. I don't know if it'll ever happen. But maybe it will now because of the Spider-Man deal with PlayStation. Maybe we could get a Buffy game. I think it's a massively wasted opportunity. I thought says, if you could earn one ultra rare platinum other people you know own, what would it be? Well, I have one friend who has the Elder Scrolls Online platinum, who insists it's not worth me doing, but I still want to do it because I'm a massive Elder Scrolls simp, and I think I could do it. I think if I could convince some of my friends to boost it with me, I reckon I could get that Emperor trophy. Probably not. I'm pretty useless. Bandersnatch 89. If you could be a soup, what kind of soup would you be? See, these are the questions. These are the important questions. I would be broccoli and Stilton so that no one ate me and I just went rotten in the back of the fridge, stinking out the whole place. Timothy Gospel. Hey Tim, how you doing, bro? If you were to platinum a certain genre of game, what would it be? If I was to platinum, every game in a certain genre. If I was to fixate on a genre, it would probably be either a hack and slash, or it'd be FPS. They'd be the two that I think I could binge heavy because I used to. Unknown, hello, bro. Unknown, if you don't know Unknown is a huge part of our community. He's kind of like the glue that brings us all together. A really wonderful individual who brings a lot of positivity and joy, and we should all be grateful that Unknown is one of us, because from being top 5 and being really into being in the top 5 as well, Unknown's become much more relaxed in their hunting, so definitely check out their list, it's fascinating. But Unknown asks, any plans on doing more collabs with other trophy hunters? Oh, absolutely. That's why we do this. I mean, the whole point is to interact with as many people as possible and to be a positive role in our community, because we take this community very seriously. We care a lot about this community. And so I am planning, there's something I've got coming up in November, which is a big secret. I do want to work, I've got something with Platinum Opus coming out soon on his channel, and I'm hoping to get him over to us as well. So if you follow Platinum Opus, make sure to remind him that he's going to go and do a cameo for us. I'd love to work with Pete Air Games because I think Pete is just wonderful. Pete is one of my favourite people in trophy hunting. I'd like to see Trophy Pop. There's a lot of new trophy hunters out there as well, and I've been watching a few people recently. I don't feel I'm ever in competition. I know there are a lot of YouTubers out there that feel like they're in competition. I just want to be at the party. I don't care about being the biggest thing at the party. I just want to be at the party because this is the coolest party on earth. Wes asks, would you do a platinum challenge again? Someone else. Yes, I would. And do you know what? Last year taught me so much about the streak. It really changed my gaming. I hated every second of it. And I realised that after the last year or so of doing very little challenging stuff, I'd lost what I love about trophy hunting. And now I want to broaden my horizons again. I want to play new genres that I haven't. So there's a video out at the moment where you can pick my first racing game platinum. If you haven't seen it already, go watch it. Make sure you get your vote in. I want to spread my wings and just try different things all over again. Wes asks a second question, cheeky. Would you grub again or have you bet? No, I'm done. I mean, I'd never do a jumping taco shit. I've got 2 really bad ones on my account, 3 really bad ones I really don't like, which is Chickens on the Road, but my kid did that, so it doesn't really count. I've got Slide, which is pretty shameful, and I've got Jumping Taco, which I did for a video. And they're the only 3 that really annoy me. That and Jedi Fallen Order, because I auto-popped it accidentally. I do like Ratalaker games. I have no issue with Ratalaker games. I think they're really good games. I think they have a really good publisher, actually. I think by giving these small indie unknown games easy platinums, those games then reach a wider audience, which feeds more money into these publishers who are making good games. Of course, some of these publishers make really shitty games, but most of them are actually really good. It's Random Heroes, really good game. Bucket Knight, really good game. Daggerhood, really good game. And it would be nice to see more of those from Ratalaker. Oh, and Concept Destruction too. I need more Concept Destruction because I love Concept Destruction. J Car asks, anything? Anything, darling. What have you got? Pants on or off while gaming? Wow, that's a good question, and I'll tell you why it's a good question, because it varies. So if it's like 2 in the morning and I'm bored or I'm drunk and I'm just playing video games, why would any pants? But if I'm in the middle of the day and there's people around in the house, then I probably need to wear pants. So I try to, but pants aren't really necessary for gaming, so it's not like it's a priority. And also I have great legs. I don't know if you know this, but I have incredible legs. It's the most attractive part of my body, probably because it's covered by clothing all the time. So yeah, I mean, if I could show off my legs, why wouldn't I? So we're moving on to Twitter now, and yes, I'm still gonna call it Twitter. I'm never gonna call it X because that just sounds weird. So, first question is from someone called Crew Campbell. I've never heard of this person. How awesome is your wife in real life? Well, honestly, she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. She's pretty much my favorite person. She's a good cook. She's funny. She's wonderfully unique. Very, very, very unique. I've never met anyone like her. She's incredible. Very creative, very intelligent, brutal, cold in her character assassinations when she's on a wind-up. She's just awesome. She's a great editor, great writer, really great writer. In fact, she has a book coming out, which she's very excited about. She wrote it a while back, and she's now finished the edits, and she's ready to release it. And I think it's really good, really, really good. She's a much better writer than I am, which hurts to say because writing is my passion. Question 2, video game streamer Justin NYCC Bound. Hello, I love to ask a question. What 5 of the hardest platinums are you going after in the future, and what Souls-like are you platinuming? Oh, I like that. I put that as a juicy question. I love it, and I couldn't say it better myself. In fact, I did. 5 hardest platinums. I am going for Wolfenstein 2. I'm going to get my shit together and go back to that. I am going to... DMC 5 is another one. I'm going to do the Dark Souls trilogy, but we'll call that one game. I want to do Lies of P as well. That looks really, really good. There's loads of hard games. Super Meat Boy, I'm going to go back to that. Yeah, and there's quite a few. There is quite a few. Hollow Knight, but I want to do it without the glitch, which apparently I won't do because I'm shit. So yeah, we'll see, but there's a lot of games. I think the next big hard game I'll do will be for my 200th Platinum, which is like 15 plats. And I'll probably put it to a vote. I'll probably put all those games together and put it to a vote, or I'll just do Wolfenstein 2. Walnut asks, hello Walnut, how you doing, bro? Top 3 favourite games of all time. Easy answer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer from the original Xbox, Time Splitters 2, and do you know what? I normally say Skyrim, but it's Forgotten City. I'm craving a Forgotten City play. So yeah, we're gonna go with Forgotten City because it's so quaint and small, and I love the lore of the environment. I love everything about that game. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I know I go on about this game a lot, but it's because it's so much fun. What's the most time you spent on a single trophy where after it was done you felt like the time was worth the effort? Blink, that's a great question, and I have an answer for that from very recent gaming as well, actually, because I've done a lot of bad grinds, I've done a lot of good grinds. So the worst grind I probably did was the cat call ability, and was that worth it? Yes, in hindsight, because it taught me a lot about trophy hunting and my limitations and what I'm able to do and how much bullshit I can take from a game before I give up on it. But recently I did Streets of Rage 4 and I bought the DLC, and I'm going to have a video out about this soon as well, so keep an eye out for that because it's a really interesting video about how the DLC actually makes the Platinum more fun. Third and finally, we are going to our Discord server, the House of L, which there is an invite in the description. We have an incredible community, some wonderful, wonderful people, and a really awesome vibe. So if you'd like to join us and become part of that and our incredible bigger community, then jump on in. You are more than welcome. We'd love to see you there. Discord is the hub of our community where we all just join up to talk games, organise boosting sessions, argue about trophies. And here are the questions from our server. So Lucas, baby, how you doing? When can I expect to get those feet pics from you? When I get those shoulder pics from you. Plush Milk, how many inches? 3.5 on a good day. Not gonna lie to you. And Lucas says at least 7. I wish, honey, I wish. Gravity Rush, milk or cereal first? See, you might be asking that facetiously there, Gravity Rush, but it's a good question because I've been thinking a lot about this. Now, when you have your first bowl of cereal, of course, it is cereal, milk, eat. But do you ever have just one bowl of cereal? because I very seldom do. And what I find is that I'd put in cereal, milk, eat, and then there's still milk left over, and I put the cereal in, and that second bowl tastes so much better because it's got all the sugar and the flavour from the first batch of cereal into the milk, and so both. Basically, it's one and then two. English or Spanish? Spanish. Like language, women, either Spanish. And CJ joking, you've already asked your question, CJ. Be quiet. I'm joking. I love you really. If Superman never existed, who would be your favourite superhero? It wouldn't be Batman, that's for fucking sure. Because Batman isn't a superhero. He's just really, really super at getting his kids killed. All of the Robins have died in canon. Sue me. It's a really good question. I think Wonder Woman. I genuinely think Wonder Woman because there's a lot more to her character than we've seen outside of comic books. And I think there's a few writers that really get her just in different ways as well, very different ways. Like Azzarello writes her in such a strong and fierce way, and then Mark Waid writes her in such a compassionate way. There's so many great writers that have worked on Wonder Woman that have brought different sides of her personality out, that she's so complex. And her very conception from James Marston was... James Marston, is that his name? I can't remember. I think it's James Marston. Is so interesting that she's just one of these characters that I think she's a legacy character, and I think she's right up there with Batman and Superman, and I don't think those two work without her, if I'm honest. I don't think the Justice League or the DC universe functions in the same way as it does when she's a part of it. I think she's truly important to DC Comics, and I think she's very underappreciated by general audiences. I cannot wait for the game. Apparently we're getting a Wonder Woman game that's been in development for a few years now. We're expecting to see more of it soon. We haven't seen anything since the initial trailer, but I'm very excited about that. I think Wonder Woman is very good, very, very good character. And if it wasn't Wonder Woman, it'd probably be Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Is Buffy a superhero? Is she really a superhero? She calls herself a superhero, but I'm not sure she is really. Debate that among yourselves. Is Buffy the Vampire Slayer a superhero or just a regular hero? Let me know. Do you fold or scrunch your toilet paper, Gravity Rush? Depends what I'm using it for. If I'm making something papier-mâché, obviously I'll scrunch it, because me and my kid do some crafting, we're making a volcano or something, you've got to scrunch that paper up. But obviously if we're doing something a bit more delicate, then we might want to wrap it around and glue it, so it all depends what we're crafting. I'm always interested in what kind of music you enjoy. Vicarious. Okay, that's a good question. All sorts. I've got really varied and ranged taste in music. I really like, I'm a really big Eminem fan. I'm old, and I think Houdini was the best song that's been released in over 20 years. I love nu metal. I was a teenager when nu metal was at its heyday, so Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park. I love 70s, 80s metal rock as well, like big AC/DC fan, Metallica. There's a lot. Yeah, I just like everything. I mean, my favourite ballet is Swan Lake by Tchaikovsky. I absolutely love Tchaikovsky. Don't ask me why, I don't know. And I also love Take That. And do you know what? I used to hate them when I was younger, but the Spice Girls now, I hear them and I'm just like... So, yeah, I just have taste, I guess. Varied, mixed taste. I'm not sure it's good, though. Master Rock says, what's a plat you'll never consider going for? Oh, there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those. I never would have considered going for Meat Boy until Figer put it on my account. I would never go for Binding of Isaac or Evil Within, games like that. I'm not a horror fan. But there's not many, I mean... Bad games, I wouldn't want to platinum anymore, but I've decided I'm not doing bad games. I'm not going to platinum a game for the sake of platinuming a game. I'm only going to go for plats in games that I love. So I'm only really going to play games on PlayStation that I really want to platinum before I start it. Anything else can be played on the Steam Deck? Assassin's Creed 3. That's the one I'll never consider going for. Again. Right, and Duxie, but it's Riley Reid every day of the week. Riley Reid is fit. She was there when, you know, internet porn became a big thing, and I was obviously enamoured by her. And she's also a really funny and cool streamer nowadays. So Riley Reid is an absolute queen. Well done. Gravity Rush asks, what is your favourite artist or band? Honestly, it's Eminem. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. Did you know Eminem is autistic as well, by the way? I was thinking about this the other day, and Eminem sang in one of his songs, I can't remember which one it was, but he said that he got an Asperger's diagnosis. Now, I don't know if you know this, but since the DSM-5 in the 90s, Asperger's and autism are exactly the same thing. They're just different names for the same condition. And the only differentiating factor between the two was Asperger's people could talk, autistic people couldn't. However, that isn't a thing, and so Asperger's is no longer a diagnosis anywhere in the world and hasn't been for 20 years. So Eminem is Asperger's, meaning he's autistic, and so I find that very relatable. I find that he is one of the very last artists to really talk about his emotions and deal with his problems in his music. And I don't feel we get that now in modern music. A lot of the modern music I listen to now or hear is all about sex or all about bullshit violence or crime, or it's got nothing, it's got no substance to it. It's got no value to it. There's no personal development. And I think artists that have personal development, so like Taylor Swift writes about all her exes in her albums, it's personal development. She's using her pain, her trauma to create art. And that is how art should be made. Art should not be a manufactured product. It should be developed, and you should suffer for your art. And I know that sounds horrible, but it is what it is. A huge thank you for everything you've all done for us. It means so much that we can't even really put it into words, which is kind of ironic because writing and talking is what I do, right? But it does mean that much, and the fact that we've reached 1,500 subscribers is honestly absolutely insane to us. We just wanted to build a small community of people that we could talk to about our hobby or my hobby, and share some stories together, and it's grown into something different. It's grown into something a bit larger and a bit more expansive, I guess, which has given us confidence to make more ambitious videos, to make bigger videos, to put more effort into videos. And thanks to our incredible patrons and channel members, we're able to evolve our tech as well, bit by bit. As you can see, hopefully this green screen is the best green screen you've seen on our channel so far, and that's because we were able to buy new lights that should, in theory, make green screening a lot easier and the quality of our green screening a lot higher. It's the inspiration that you will give us, and it means everything. It absolutely means everything. Be good to each other.